When you start out the day with a fish that is absolutely screaming, it's gonna be an amazing day. For sure.
This is freaking awesome.
We didn't get to the boat ramp until what? It was like 7:30. We left here at 4. And then we've got almost an hour and a half run out because it wasn't exactly flat calm on our way out. We're looking for grouper, we're looking for snapper, and amidst this long run to get here, we just found out that our speed over ground is 4 knots, which is crazy fast.
A lot more than we expected, and heard that this week has been like 260 feet, little over 4 knots speed over ground. What jig are you gonna put on? I'm going with a 320 tuna teaser is what I'm thinking right now. Obviously, we'll see what happens as the day progresses. What are you dropping in this situation? Put it in the comments below.
2 long drifts, no fish, and then we're like, what did we do? Why did we get up at 4 a.m. in the morning?
Yeah, big time.
And then you got a screamer.
Yep. Tugging like a son of a gun. He's going crazy, dude.
Were you just reeling off?
This ain't no tuna or bonito.
Oh, come on.
I was just straight reeling my jig up.
Wow.
He's going nuts. There he goes, run. Oh boy. Good run.
Yes, sir.
Oh wow. I wonder if I just got picked up by a shark.
I don't think so, dude. That's indicative of pelagic that shoots out, right?
Oh, sailfish!
I thought for sure your reel was gonna start smoking.
Yeah, it got warm. Yeah, when that thing first hit, that fish picked my jig up and began to thrash violently side to side, and he did that for long enough that I was like, this isn't a tuna. And then when he peeled, really wahoo was the first guess, but the tail of what it was when he broached and tail walked on the surface. We all knew. He's very thrashy. I wonder if I got the bottom hook in the mouth, but when he gets ready, you can sense when they're ready. There you go, see that? Oh, he's still on. Yeah, look at that.
It's not saying we haven't done it before, but every time it happens, you're just like, I cannot believe we just got a sailfish on the jig.
Yeah. There he goes.
Oh!
It's one of the most exciting fish to catch, especially on a jig, which is a really uncommon bait to get sailfish on. We don't target sailfish, but they are a bycatch strike that happens often enough. So if you've got one on the jig, rep your cred in the comments below. Tell us about it. All right, here he comes. Ready?
There's this evil girl.
Grab this thing out of my hand. Okay. Hold on. Little guy. Alright, bottom of the jig first. Yep. No, top of the jig first. Top of the jig first.
So we don't want to take this fish out of the water because we want him to live. So basically I'm just reviving him right now, and ideally you pull the sail up like that. You run some water through their mouth. We're gonna take our time. You notice that I have gloves on. Their bills will tear you up. He's ready to go.
There he goes.
That was amazing, man.
Yeah, that's the third one I've hooked, but it's the first one I've actually gotten to the boat and landed. They're good when they come out, you know, just like mahi, throw in the jig because they're thrashing so hard, and they, you know, broach and tail walk and all that fun stuff.
Did that just make the trip?
Oh, heck yeah.
I've only seen a handful of sailfish caught on the jig. I mean, it happens.
Yeah.
Definitely we just proved that it happens, but not too many guys can say that they've landed a sailfish on the jig, and they take off like
he was screaming. I was thinking wahoo a little bit, and then he came out of the water.
They are full throttle, fastest fish in the ocean. So,
and it's not a fish that we target. It's luck of the draw. As I was working the bottom, I was literally just bringing my jig in with the intention of getting it up, and then I got pulled. I was doing nothing. So complete, you know, lucky strike, but that's what happens out here with the jigs.
It seems like he swam away just fine, so that was a perfect catch and release.
Yeah, right on.
Let's drop a jig,
Let's get some grouper.
So we set up the auto jigger, which we are now calling auto, and just put a heavy jig on it. Just gonna put down the 320 tuna teaser silver. I got a hook on the top, hook on the bottom, 50-pound fluorocarbon. You will notice I do have a ball bearing swivel on there for any spinning. So it's pretty simple with this thing. You just throw the jig in, drop it down to the bottom, and then as soon as it hits bottom, I engage it and it starts jigging by itself. That's it. There's only 2 of us on the boat. We've got 2 anglers, 2 chances to catch fish, but then you add that in, and now you've got this element of being able to catch pelagics up in the water column. But we also had a surprise. I'm working my jig. Devin, our camera guy, keeps putting the jig back down on the auto jigger every time it comes up, and then it gets nailed. We got a big beeliner. Cool. He looked a little different than this whenever we pulled him up, but I mean, that's a decent vermilion snapper.
Really nice.
Big beeliner. That'll make a sandwich. Fillets on this guy are pretty meaty, man.
And what's funny is we're going to continue to play this auto jigging, and having that thing in the water was exciting to see what can happen. It produced a snapper, which is fantastic.
He slammed our auto jigger, which was freaking awesome. So he's going to go in the ice box.
Let's line the box with it.
And you know what? This gives us hope because we have been striking out for the past 45 minutes, hour. So just to be able to put a fish in the box is nice and adds a little energy to the boat. And then we just started working a grid. And as soon as we mark something, you get plugged.
So even though we started the day with that sailfish catch, incredible, we were really there to catch some grouper. Grouper season's been open for a month now. You know, we got an aggregate limit per angler of 3. There's some mixed bag species regulations within that, like this Gag Grouper. This would be the only one I'm allowed to catch. I can complete my grouper bag with 2 others. Those 2 ended up being red groupers, so I got the grouper limit with 2 reds and a gag. And that's what we were there to do, but it wasn't happening, and we were on really good looking bottom. We weren't seeing the life.
I like that we're coming up in a break right here. From all the diving I do, I find that fish like to hang out where one set of structure ends, and then there's that space in between where the next set of structure begins. I love dropping my jig in these areas. The end of this one, through it, and then the beginning of this next one. Good chance to get a bite.
Once we saw the life and were able to get our jigs down is when red grouper number 1 showed up.
Yeah, baby.
And what did you say about wanting to switch, not do this drift again? What did you say? Let's move.
No, well, I say that, and then I throw the universe off.
Oh, I see. So it's like a trick.
It's like a trick.
It's like, oh, let's move. Wink, wink.
This water is just crystal blue. We got something coming up that looks like the right color.
Sirree! Yes, sirree! Nice red grouper, baby. I'm not gonna say fire truck.
Yeah.
Definitely keeper.
I did say something about, you know, this is a good gag black scamp area. You know, what do you think about maybe descending the red groupers today? But this is our first grouper. You know what, dude? I'm gonna be happy to harvest you. Thank you. I reeled pretty slow, but still managed to blow his stomach out. That's barotrauma. This is an average sized, about an 8-pound red grouper, beautiful fish. They are aggressive. These guys are aggressive. They give you a good thump, and they give you a little run for your money. The bigger ones will really take you on a run as well. Really exciting bottom fish to catch down here in South Florida and on the Gulf. Very happy to have this fish. I'm still using the 1-drop 420 I caught the sail on. Been doing me good. Our drift slowed down a little bit, but I'm at 420 grams now in 250 feet of water. It kind of seems what the day demands to have more bottom time, be able to catch fish like this.
It's delicious. It's a grouper.
Yeah.
It's a delicious fish.
There we go, baby.
We got tight to him, and then as we were seeing life, we were getting our jigs there, they started to produce to be tight to the fish that we set out to catch, and the drift just stayed smoking. So that was something that we had to work a little harder for. Whenever the drift is up like that, you're not going to get as much bottom time.
And as soon as we noticed the marks on the screen, I gave my jig 1 pitch, which was right down there.
And you got ding blasted.
Yep.
That's a dinger, bro. That's a real one. Whatever he is.
Generally not the guy that catches big grouper.
Well, today is your day. I hope.
I hope to.
Sometimes it's just all about timing. So you pitch your jig and being able to like mathematically figure out, I'm moving this fast, we're gonna hit this spot where we marked fish this amount of time, and my jig's gonna hit the bottom. I'm sorry, Chris, but I am a product of South Florida, Broward County educational system. I can't put that together perfect, but I've got a good guess. But it just seemed like you were nailing it every time today. As soon as we were marking fish on the screen, boom, Chris is plugged.
Sometimes I think it's all about timing.
He's up off the bottom?
Yeah. Whatever he is, I've got plenty of cranks on him. He's given me some kind of slow moving tugs, but he's not being aggressive, which I like the feeling of.
I don't want to mess up your groove, so you just stay right there. I'll reel up underneath you.
I don't know how much of a groove this is. I'm like kneeling on the gunnel here.
That's my move. What do you mean?
Really, with this fish, we say it over and over again, and even so, we're not perfect at doing it, but in this situation, this is a good sized fish. I have no reason to be putting massive pressure on my rod. Pumping on this fish doesn't serve me in fighting the fish. Actually is better to get this fish up quicker, just being steady. The more I tug with him, the more likely he's gonna tug back. We've got lead lures that are heavy. Bouncing those up and down can bore a larger hole penetration, and your hook can find a way out of the fish. We got some deep color here, guys. So this is it. When you're on even quality fish and you're gaining ground, nice steady reels.
Big gag! Yes, sir! That's a beautiful gag grouper. Oh my gosh!
Nice.
I barely got him gapped. Let's get him in the
Nice.
front. That's a beautiful gag.
Yes!
Hey, here's a question for you. Have you caught a gag?
Now this is my first catch.
This is your PB gag, baby. That's fantastic, Chris.
Oh, that's cool. Sometimes all your buddies have caught a lot of quality fish, and for whatever reason, it's never been your turn. And so I'm almost embarrassed to admit that I haven't got a gag on the jig, but I am so happy to have gotten one now. Looks a lot like that mount they gave away at the jig battle.
Holy cow, guys. Look at that. Whew.
That's the biggest grouper I've ever seen.
I don't know what that is. Dude, that looks like, honestly, that looks like a mystic grouper. It's got like those stripes, but he's got this white thing on his belly. What is that? It's like a juvenile mystic, maybe? I don't know. I know he's not keeper size. I think we're gonna have to let him go. So we're kind of nearing towards our end of our day. We know the wind's gonna pick up at 5 o'clock, and it's like we've got one more spot that we know we want to hit.
Right.
It's 20 miles away.
Yeah.
And it's like either we go now or we don't go.
Yeah.
We hit the number, I think we drifted it one time with nothing, and then the second time we both get plugged up at the same exact time, and I did something pretty cool.
Oh, absolutely.
2 American red snappers at one time. It's pretty exciting. Sad part about this is red snapper, unfortunately, in federal waters, still closed. It's open up in the Gulf, guys can harvest it, but we can't.
We're still waiting for a decision to be made on when we can harvest red snapper. But we dropped into a honey hole, and it was boom, boom, immediately.
It's gonna come around this way.
Doubled up.
That's it, boys. Retight. Doubled up with my good best fishing buddy, Christopher Doyle. That's a powerful fish, man. We have had just an incredible day out here today between sailfish, gag grouper, red grouper. It's coming up like a good fish, the right kind. I got color. I got color. He's coming up. Wow, boys, look at
Whoa!
2 for 1 American red snappers.
We got to release all 3 of these guys. We just landed 3 American red snappers in one spot. Right now, the red snapper South Atlantic season has not yet been announced. It's probably going to be sometime in mid-July. The Gulf is active right now. These are closed. We got to get these back in the water right now, and at least we know where to come find them whenever.
We'll mark that spot. Let's get them released quickly.
Whenever they decide to actually open this thing up.
So my 2 fish that came up were very lively. You could tell no eyes bulging out or anything like that. They weren't floating. As soon as I dipped them in the water, boom, straight back down.
Yeah.
But the big boy that you caught needed a little help.
So we just got clobbered by American red snapper and a little bit of the heat of the moment, but this species, this is a currently closed season on them, and it is expected to open in July next month. Descending, using jigs and a equalizer descending tool, deep water. You know, if we look FWC, NOAA, they say it's likely, I think, the 2nd week of July, but it has not yet been determined when they're going to open these up in the South Atlantic. So we knew today that we might find a couple of those, which is good, because if we can get up here when the season opens, we can give some red snapper to our families. They're one of the most fun fish, definitely snapper to catch on jig. They're absolutely ferocious. They fight all the way up. They love jigs. A lot of people say, you know, what jig's the best? I was just using a red and gold flatback. What were you using, John?
I had the 1 drop pink and blue 420.
Yeah, so those aren't even common jigs we'll use for those fish. We're always choosing watermelon and whatnot. I'm telling you, man, any and all of the jigs will work for red snapper if you get it down to where they are. Yeah, he's gone.
So even though we had to release them, we know where they live. And we're coming back.
Yeah. We just got back from San Diego a little over a month ago, catching big, beautiful bluefin tuna. And I dropped my jig down near the bottom and I got hit pretty good. And this thing just peeled line off my reel and went straight out. And he was smoking. I couldn't help but think that I have another sailfish on because he really screamed out there.
Keeping my rod straight, letting the line peel out smooth. Getting a little more vertical with them here now.
Low handle turns.
Probably like 80 to 100 feet. I'm on my trusty old Power 3 Pro Jigger in the Saltiga 35JH by Daiwa. Berkeley X9, 30-pound braid. And I actually just switched my jig. Afternoon, it's hot, sun's been up, to a gold red glow flatback 300. Kind of thinking grouper. This ain't no grouper though. I don't think. Grouper don't do stuff like that. Now I'm just pulling his body mass up.
It looks like a big tuna.
All right, I don't like this.
You got a foul hook tuna, big foul hook tuna.
A tuna did that.
Whoa,
That's
bro.
a nice tuna though.
Yeah, I just did a total Guggen meat shot on him, but
It's okay. Wow. Compliments to you, Mr. Tuna.
yeah,
That was
heck of a fight.
yeah. Very cool there. Blackfin tuna of the Space Coast variety. Make sure he doesn't shake and bake too much on me.
I thought you had a bluefin.
Jeez Louise.
It fought like a California bluefin.
Yeah. That's what happens when they're foul hooked. They feel a lot bigger than they are. It's a nice blackfin.
I still give it up to mature blackfin tuna, man. They are fighters. They are a heck of a battle. They are so much fun to catch on the jig.
Well, guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We're putting out some TikToks there. Go to our Instagram if you want to see short clips of our adventures.
Stay vertical, my friends.
And keep banging that bottom.
Jig on.